This right here is Dragon Ball Super card game Fusion World. It's a lot of syllables, but the game is absolutely awesome. Even if you aren't the biggest anime guy in the world, even if you are an anime guy and maybe you don't like Dragon Ball specifically, I would recommend trying this card game out. It's a brand new card game. You might have heard about Dragon Ball Super card game, which that game actually isn't getting any more content. The Dragon Ball card game community refers to that game as Masters. Think of that as the original version of the game, and now they're kind of soft rebooting their card game into their new game, which is going to be called Fusion World. Now, I didn't follow Masters at all. In fact, I didn't play any of the original version of this game. My first experience with Dragon Ball as a card game has been through Fusion World. Originally, I intended to review every single card before I had a chance to play the game, but honestly, now that I have a much deeper understanding of the game than I did even 48 hours ago, editing those videos gives me a severe amount of pain. So instead of releasing all of my set review for all of the cards before I had the chance to play the beta, I'll do set reviews in the future. But for now, I just wanted to show you what the game client is like and let you know that this beta is happening, because some people might not even be aware. You can play Fusion World via their beta for the next 5 days, which is actually probably closer to 4 days by the time you see this, and then the digital version of the game will be releasing in spring, so somewhere around March. If you play physical card games, it might interest you to know that they're doing a physical version of this game as well. That will be releasing in February, so for now, it's all about the digital beta. So what's actually in the digital beta? Well, actually, there's quite a lot of stuff. Let's get in the client. This is what you'll see when you log in. There's a lot of stuff to go over. I do think this main menu is a little bit messy. I'm going to try and make this video as constructive as possible. I've personally disabled the background music because it's really, really, really upbeat, which is awesome if that's the vibe you're looking for. But generally, I have to be in the mood for it. So I find myself turning off the background music and turning it back on every so often. Here's a sample of it. It's very, very high octane. Like I said, it's a bit messy. There's a lot going on. I don't like the plain black background, but I think that's just placeholder because this text here just says Dragon Ball Super card game, which feels like odd text to just have on the menu like that. So I assume that they intend to change out this background. There's a ton of profile customization. There's some really cool stuff here. You can see your ranked match win rate. You can see your free match win rate. I have a 73% win rate. Not bad. We take those. You can customize your avatar, though there aren't very many options available at the moment. There's only the one hairstyle, the one face, and then the one outfit. So this is stuff they'll expand upon in the future. Though because we're in a beta, our options very limited, but if that's your thing, it's nice to know that that's there. They have a carousel of topics. Right now, this just links you to their feedback Q&A. They have a completely functioning friends list. You can challenge friends, notifications for events and stuff that are going on. Very, very feature complete menu. Every single time I discover a new feature in this game, I'm pretty surprised that they have it. So I'm looking at my battle record at the moment where I can see all of my recent opponents, how many turns our games took, and then whether I won or lost. But I can also click on details, and I can click deck check, and I can see exactly what my opponent's deck was. Isn't that freaking amazing? You can also click profile if you want to add the person as a friend or something like that. You're like, oh, this guy was fun to verse. You can go friend request. So yes, in conclusion, they've added pretty much every feature that the game needs. As for future features, I would really like to see draft. At launch and during the beta, we only have the one booster pack. Think of this as like set 1. This is Awakened Pulse. But there's also constructed decks, and these cards that are in the constructed decks, you can't get in the main set. So the only way you can obtain these cards is by purchasing the starter decks. Right now in the beta, you get 1 starter deck per day. I assume that the way the live game is going to work, like when we're actually released, is you'll probably get the 1 starter deck just for starting off, and then they'll probably give you one when you complete the tutorial, so you'll be able to get like 2 starter decks. My recommendation is pick which one you like the most. So let's say I like Broly the most, which I do. I would get this twice as opposed to getting 2 different starter decks. The reason you would want to do this is to pick up 4 copies in total of this, because there's only 2 of them in each of these starter decks. And you want as many copies of those as possible because they're freaking awesome. Eventually, though, you're probably going to want to pick up a starter deck for each of these. I will also mention that if you ever purchase any of the physical product in real life, you'll get the exact same content on digital. If you get a booster pack, the exact cards in the booster pack won't be 1-for-1, obviously. But if you purchase a booster pack in real life, you'll get a booster pack in the digital client. And then the same thing goes for these starter decks. If you purchase one of the starter decks in real life, you'll get it in the client. Currently, in the beta, 2 of the cards that are in this Awakened Pulse set are not actually in. I think the main reason for that is they just don't want you to access certain cards when they're so random to pull at the moment. Where in the future, you'll be able to craft cards and then obviously pay for packs. So if you ever get beaten by those cards, it's whatever. You could have just crafted those cards yourself. But right now, if you got beaten by those cards in the beta, it would feel kind of bad because like that person just got lucky. And one thing that's really cool is they have 100 deck slots, so you're like literally never going to run out of deck slots. I will say the deck building screen leaves a little bit to be desired. It's completely functional if you already know how the game works, but if you're a new player, the deck building process is a little bit confusing. So first of all, I have to go, when I make a deck, I have to go past this screen that says enter deck name, which is kind of annoying because honestly, it could just take me straight to the next screen. You might be thinking, well, no, they need you to put in a deck name, but no, they don't, because if I hit create deck, it'll just make one for me. Or yeah, there you go, just deck 7. It should just do that by default, and then I can come up here and rename it if I want to. Additionally, they just show you a big list of all of your cards and don't really describe any of the deck building rules to you in any meaningful way. I think what it should do is it should just get rid of every card on this list that isn't a leader. It should just automatically filter by leader by default. And then once I select a leader, so let's say I wanted to build an Android 17 deck, then it should filter away leaders and then only show me battle and extra cards. Additionally, it should automatically filter to only colors that matter for my leader. So in this case, my Android 17 is a green card, so it should only show me green cards because I can't include yellow, blue, or red anyway. Don't get me wrong, it's nice if you're experienced to be able to see this whole card list like this, but for new players, this type of experience is more overwhelming than it needs to. I also think that you should automatically get a view of this card here on the left if you're just hovering over something, as opposed to having to click on the card. For two reasons. One, if you click on a card, it automatically gets added to the deck, so it's just annoying that if I want to view a card here, I have to click on the card. I can right-click on the card, but it's like a user interface, like you need to know that. Generally, like people's instincts will be to, if I want a new card to show up here on the left, I'll have to click on it, and then if I click on it, now I've also added it to my deck, which might not be what I want to do. I might just want to zoom in on the card. Like maybe I don't know what Android 20 does, so I'll click on Android 20, read what he does, and now all of a sudden he's in my deck. Just random user interface, things like that, that would be a nice improvement if they worked on that. Okay, enough about the menus and everything. Let's get into the actual game. Now, if you've played the One Piece card game, or if you played the original Dragon Ball card game, this will feel relatively familiar to you, but if you've only played traditional card games before, we're going to talk about a lot of new concepts that are going to be pretty original to you. So pay attention, because we're going to go over a lot of cool stuff. But we're looking for an opponent, and we will play a game with my green deck. Now, green as a color is very much about ramp in general. That's kind of like their core identity. Almost all of their stuff has energy gain or sacrifice energy to do this thing. And already we've jumped into the game. You can see this incredible visualization that's going on. Very, very cool 3D animations. Okay, so this is like a key card I'm looking for every single time I'm mulliganing, because it adds an energy to, well, adds a card from the top of my deck to my energy, which is super important. Every single card in this game is an energy. At the start of your turn, you'll place a card from your hand into your energy zone, and that for the rest of the game, that card's just like locked into being. You'll see more about how that plays out as we progress. This is a very good hand. We're going to keep it. You'll notice that each player has 8 life. Your 8 life is actually a stack of 8 cards. Whenever you're successfully attacked, you'll lose a life, and when you lose a life, that'll go to your hand. I'm going to set up this Broly because it is a 4-cost card. I'm going to use this as my energy because it's unlikely that I'll be able to efficiently use a 4-cost card this game anyway, because I'm going to play my energy ramp card on 3, which means on turn 4, I'll have 5 instead of 4. So this 4 card's probably just going to sit in my hand for too long because I'm probably going to play this card on turn 5. So yeah, in conclusion, we're going to use this as our energy ramp for the turn. And then we're going to play Shamoan. Shamoan's just a 5,000 power blocker. 5,000 power is not very much, but a blocker is a blocker. Now, I'm going first, so I can't attack on the first turn, nor do I draw a card, so I'm a little bit behind on cards. And additionally, the player going second gets an energy marker. Think of this as like the coin from Hearthstone. You use this once. When you attack somebody, your goal is to have a power value equal to the target. And if your opponent successfully attacks you, they take you'll take a damage. But if you successfully attack a battle card, which is one of the things that go on the board, like a minion or a recruit or something, that card will be destroyed. There's no retaliate damage or anything like that. Now, the opponent Freezer is attacking my Broly. I have the option now to commit a blocker, which would redirect the attack to this blocker. I don't want to do that because I'm happy to take this damage anyway. And now it goes back to the opponent, and my opponent's choosing whether they want to add any combo value to their attack. So right now their attack is at 15,000, but they could choose to combo, which is as simple as discarding a card. And if they discard a card, the combo value of that card is added to the attack. So in this case, Android 16 here has 10,000 combo printed on the side of the card. So if I was to use Android 16 here, I would get plus 10,000 on my power value. In this case, I actually want to take the damage because I want to draw a card. So I'm going to let him deal 1 damage to me. Oh no, there's my 1 damage, but now I get to draw a Paragesis. In fact, taking damage is such a key important part of the game that there are many cards like this that are printed that just read on play, add a card from your life to your hand. You're intentionally taking a damage in order to just draw a card. That's important for two reasons. One is that it's just giving you card draw, right? It's pseudo card draw. But also, if your leader is somebody like Broly, or actually if your leader is anybody, you can awaken at 4 life. And then Awakening makes your card significantly stronger in some way. So in this case, Broly's big benefit to Awakening is that he gets to go to 25,000 base power as opposed to the 15,000. Continuing with my turn, I'm going to spend one of my Paragasises as our energy for the turn. Actually, do I even want to do that? Yeah, I think I do want to spend it as energy. We'll spend 1 Paragasis as energy and then play the second. We will take the life to our hand. We get a free Gohan. Now, our opponent does get to see that card, and if you ever miss an animation like that, they have a really detailed history bar up here where you can always go ahead and check what's going on. I'm going to... Technically, I should have swung first for the card draw, but I'm going to swing now. And we get a King Vegeta, a very, very powerful card. Another user interface thing I wish they would change is if you right-click on a card, I wish it would defaultly go to this more detailed view as opposed to this kind of view on the left-hand side of the screen. Okay, we can just end the attack there. So we will deal 1 damage to the opposing Frieza. Oh, no, wait, sorry. They have the ability to defend now, because I just realized the first time we passed the opponent, it was them choosing whether or not they wanted to use this blocker. They didn't want to use that blocker, and they also choose not to combo, so they take damage. I'm not going to swing with Paragasis, because I really want my Paragasis to stay on board, because he has a once per turn effect, or not a once per turn effect, sorry. He has a when attacking effect, so every time this card attacks, and my leader is Broly, in which case my leader is Broly, I can add a Shimoan from my drop, which is like my discard pile, to my battlefield. I don't have a Shimoan in my drop at the moment, but this guy is a Shimoan. We can make sure that he dies next turn, and that way I can get a blocker for free. We might not want this Shimoan to die next turn, because we might prefer a scenario where we're just taking the damage. One thing to keep in mind about Broly in particular is when he hits 4, he gets to awaken, and his awakening gives him 1 energy. Most awakenings won't give you energy, it's just a specific thing for Broly. So if we drop to 4 life here, I'm almost certainly going to awaken just to get my 1 life. Oh, sorry, my 1 energy. It's worth noting that that energy comes from your life, so you take an additional damage on top of the damage that you take to get down to 4. Okay, so Frieza's attacking me. He has a when attacking effect that made this guy get exhausted, so our Shimoan is rested. We cannot use him as a blocker anymore. This is 20,000 coming to my face. I'm going to go ahead and take that just to get the draw card. And like I was alluding to earlier, I don't mind dropping to 4 life at all. I assume this Frieza here is going to swing into our Shimoan. Actually, I lied. I think this Dodoria is going to swing into our Shimoan. He's going to swing for 15. We're totally going to let that go through. Alright, we're down on 4 life already, even though it's just turn 2. And then I think the Dodoria is going to swing into our Shimoan. Oh, he uses Golden Death Beam. I assume this is to kill off my Paragasis. Golden Death Beam targets something with 3 costs or less and destroys it. Oh, he killed off our blocker. That's surprising. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm not sure if that was the correct line, unless I'm missing something. I'm going to use this 4-cost card for the same reasons that we talked about before. It's unlikely that I'll find an efficient time to use a 4-cost card. We will do this attack on the opposing leader to resummon our Shimoan. So he decided to not block, and let's see if he decides to combo. We're going to do quite a bit of ramping this turn. Bonk. Alright, we hit Frieza. Now we're going to... deciding what order I want to do this in. So I should attack first. So the awakened side of Broly doesn't have when attacking draw a card, but Broly does. So this first form of does. So I'm going to swing for 15, which will draw me a card. Oh, in this case it was Paragasis, which is actually a pretty good draw. Alright, we can end the step there. And then he'll choose whether or not he wants to add any combo. My guess is he will not. That guess is correct. He'll take the 1 damage. From here, I will awaken, which has an absolutely beautiful animation. Boom. Now, you'll notice, as we talked about before, one of my cards went... one of my life. Where will it have that in? have it on the front. Add 1 card from your life to your energy. One of the cards I added to my life, or the card I added to my life, was King Vegeta. And now you can only run... This is a super combo card, which has a unique trait that says when you use it defensively, you get plus 10,000 combo power. And normally it's just 10,000 combo power, but when you use it defensively, it's a total of 20,000. That's pretty awesome. But unfortunately, you can only run 4 copies of those cards, and Broly just got rid of one of mine. So I'm down to 3 super combo cards left. That's something you generally want to keep track of as you play the game. How many cards, or how many super combo cards does your opponent have left? It's good to know. All right, I'm going to use our destructive strength here to gain a resource. Boom. And then we still have 1 resource left over, but nothing to do with it, which is absolutely fine. And we've already made our attack, so we can go ahead and end up our turn there. And next turn, we'll be going into a 6-cost turn. I think I'm probably going to try and play Turles or Turles next turn, because Turles is also an energy ramp card, and we want to get to 8 cost as quickly as possible this matchup, I think. So he's attacking with Frieza again, which rests our guy. 25,000. It is starting to get to the point where I really do want to protect my leader. I don't see myself playing this Paragesis anytime soon, so in theory, it's like a perfectly good card to... Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to combo with this Son Goku, just to get out of range of this attack. Now, theoretically, there's no difference to being at 3 life and 1 life, as long as you're not dead. But the problem is there are cards in the game that have the keyword Double Strike, which deals 2 damage instead of 1 when they successfully attack, and you got to be careful about those. Frieza's going into Awakening, and his Awakening is really cool. He gets to take a rested card and turn it into an active card at the end of his turn. So he'll probably make this active and this active, attacking me for 20,000, which in this case does nothing. He adds a 5,000 combo, so it's 25,000. So now it actually is doing something. I do have to be concerned about this. How concerned about it do I have to be? I think I have to take it. I know I was just talking about my concern with Double Strike, but I'm going to be a little bit greedy here. Destructive Strength, okay. I might end up playing Trunks this turn, or not Trunks, sorry, Gohan. God, 25,000. This is just a vanilla, so 25,000. I definitely can't take another hit. That's too much. We'll use the Paragesis. No, we're at 35,000. His attack's gonna miss. And he did his restands. We'll use this Destructive Strength as our resource for the turn, because we're never going to get the chance to play that, I don't think. We do really want to use this Son Gohan effect. Let's clear this. And we can bring back our Shimoan as well. Attack. I assume he'll use some combo to protect it. Oh, no, he doesn't. He just lets it go through. Okay. Now, normally I would want to play Turles here to get the ramp, because I really want to get to 8 cost so I can play this Broly as soon as possible. But if I keep letting this thing live, it's going to be really bad for him. It's going to be really bad for me, because he can just keep resting our blocker, and our blocker is a big part of the reason why we're surviving against this tempo deck. So what we need to do is play this Son Gohan, which has a choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 4 cost or less and KO it. So we're just going to use this to KO Frieza, because it was being annoying. Out of here. And then we'll swing for 25. Normally your attack order really matters because you get to draw a card when you attack. But in this case it doesn't particularly matter because I don't have a draw card effect on Broly, which is very irregular. Most cards, most leaders, once they're awakened, have the draw 1 effect when attacking. There is actually a downside of playing the card first, though, which is that now the opponent knows how much I'm going to be attacking with throughout the turn, where there's like quote-unquote quote-unquote optimal sequencing to your turns to conceal as much information. I did not do the optimal sequencing there at all. Nice, we get off 1 hit. A big part of the problem with this matchup is he's going to keep re-readying his battle cards with his leader ability, and I'm not going to have the ability to attack his... Yeah, we'll do... I'm not going to have the ability to attack his cards because they're never going to be rested. You can only ever target an opponent's battle card if that card is rested. So, happy with that. Uses his attack to take out the Shimoan. He's hitting me with 20,000 plus a 5,000 combo. So he'll be at 25,000 here. I'll use pearls. Go to 35,000. Traded one card for one card there. Which is good. I think we want to get to the point where we're simplifying the game state. That's really what my deck's all about. Oh, there's a King Cold. King Cold can definitely be a scary card. Oh, he's attacking our Shimoan generator. Not good. Now, I could actually protect our Shimoan generator here by doing King Vegeta as our super combo card, which I actually kind of like doing. This will be... Oh, this won't be rested because of his durability. So it's going to be hard for me to kill this thing off anyway. Yeah, let me just take this hit. My turn's way more awkward than I want it to be. I'm going to have to use a Broly as a resource here, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, I'm going to have to. Because the other cards are too important. If I use Turles as a resource, I'm giving up a 5,000 combo, which this 5,000 combo is going to be pretty important. So yeah, we're going to have to give up a Broly as a resource. It's so sad. I don't really want to give him more resources, but the alternative is doing nothing. So let's go ahead and swing with Broly. Okay, we'll do no combo. He'll take the damage and the draw. And then I'm gonna go Son Gohan to gain a life. I love this on-play effect. Being able to gain a life is super important for this deck. And I think we're just gonna swing. Wow, he lets it go through. That's a little bit surprising, honestly. Oh, no, he's, I see, he's letting it, he was just choosing not to block. Yeah, there you go. He'll use the combo to prevent the attack instead of... Then I'll swing with Gohan, I think. Yeah, we'll swing. Oh, he used a super combo there to prevent that. Take that. Hey, he only has 5 cards in hand. So I'm a little less worried than I was a second ago. I really don't want to see him drop a Golden Frieza this turn, because he'll have 5 resources available to him, and Golden Frieza is kind of his boss monster. Oh no, he's definitely got a Golden Frieza, because he just used a Golden Frieza as a resource. There's no way he would use a Golden Frieza as a resource unless he had one in hand. Or had another one in hand. Okay, he's attacking with 30,000. We have to let this one go through. Oh no, sorry, we have to stop this one. Because he'll be attacking with a Golden Frieza double strike here in a second. So we'll defend for 10,000. Then he'll swing for 25. Oh, wow, these are both 25? That's not good. Alright, we'll play Turles. To get to 30. I thought this guy was 20, and I just must have just forgotten. And now he swings with another 25. I assume he's not going to add combo to this, because he wants to combo his double strike card. Okay, he does add combo, so he's at 35 right now. Thankfully, we can go over the top of 35 with this super combo card, which generates 20 combo only while defensive. So that is just enough. Oh, it's actually way more than enough. Oh, another quality of life thing that would be really cool is if the game did the math for you and let you know, like, hey, this is how much damage you're receiving and how much damage you need to make up as a result, or how much combo you need to add to be able to dodge that. Yep, he did indeed play that Golden Frieza. So Golden Frieza has double strike, which means he deals 2 damage instead of 1 when he successfully hits the enemy leader. And then he also has choose up to one of your opponent's rest mode cards and like permanently rest mode them. Well, not permanently, just until next time. Oh wow, he's attacking this? That's surprising. Oh, I see why. UI. Yeah, that makes sense. He's trying to prevent me from being able to have lethal. Really good idea. That actually might be the difference maker. I assumed he would have went face. So let's take a look at what we draw. We drew Vegeta, but that's fine. Literally everything we were going to draw here was going to end up being an energy, because we're going to spend that energy to play Broly. Broly comes down for 45. We spend the Broly to KO this, because we don't want him to have a blocker. Then we use our skill to draw a card. We give up one of our resources, we don't really care which one, to draw a card. This is good, this is another combo piece. We'll swing for 30. He only has 2 cards in hand, which is end up going to being 3 cards because he has 2 life here. So once we hit him the once, he'll draw a life. And now he has 3 cards in his hand to make up 45 plus the 2 cards in our hand. Broly's able to attack twice per turn. So once we swing with this, we can go again. So 45. Can he make up the 45? He can't make up the 45! Broly ends the game. Beautiful. Close game. But we got there in the end. I'm absolutely in love with Broly, man. A very, very fun archetype. Green archetype's definitely my favorite so far. I'm probably not going to do too much experimenting with the other colors until the game actually fully releases, just because it's difficult to make, like, quote-unquote optimal decks during the beta while we have so little progression, because they don't let you purchase any packs or anything like that during the beta. Makes sense, but it's severely limiting my deck building creativity. Ooh, getting pretty close to being out of bronze. How exciting. Alright, come check out Dragon Ball Super Fusion World with me. The beta is linked in the description. Keep being awesome, and I'll catch you in the next one.